Welcome to Slacker Gaming, where I am trying to help you guys be better at MLB 22, trying to give you some tips and tricks. And in this video, we are going to go over the cheapest collection rewards out there in MLB 22. So what I did is I went through all these teams and basically added up how much they were going to cost to do them. And then I ended up going through and doing them. So I'm going to break them down of any team that is under 10,000 stubs as of 411, 412. These are the cheapest ones to get, and you need to knock them out as fast as possible. So if you'd like to watch that episode, stick around. So I wanted to go over the collections and break them down and show you the cheapest ones. But first, we're going to show you how to get there. First, you see we're in the home tab. You're going to go over to the collect tab, over to collections, and then you're going to go over to the live series cards. Now, in the live series cards, these are going to be up top. Don't have to worry about them right now. You just kind of keep going. Once you get plenty of these, you're going to be able to unlock these, but don't worry about them now. I'm worried about the teams here. And so what I've done is I've gone through here and counted up how many stubs it would take to get each. And if it was over 10,000, which some of them are pretty easily over 10,000, like this Garrett Cole is 22.8 already, so the Yankees are way over. Same thing with Tampa Bay. They are way over 10,000 once you add them. Same thing with Toronto. Vladdy's 124K. So all of these I didn't add up because they're not going to be under 10,000. But what I did is I went through, added up most of these cards. Like the Cubs, you would think they'd be cheap. They're not. They are over 10,000. I think they're about 16,000 to get everything. The reason they're kind of higher right now is because of the players and the events. But same thing with like Arizona. They have Marte, which in Marte alone is over 11,000 to get him. So what I did is I went through here and found teams that didn't have that one expensive guy, or if they did, it was like 3,000, 4,000. And then I went through and added up all of the players, how much it would cost you to get. And then I went through there, and then what I did in the end was bought them all and collected them. And I have the exact stub total it cost me to do so. Now, we're just going to start by going over the first one, which is Baltimore. Baltimore cost me about 9,803 stubs. So the big ones in here are the first ones, like Mullins is 4.4, Hayes is under 1,000, Mountcastle's under 1,000. I believe everything else is under 1,000 at this point. I think the biggest one basically is Mullins, and then everybody else is decently cheaper. The further you get down, the cheaper it gets. And Baltimore is one of those teams that, you know, like if Mullins goes to a diamond, which I think he will if he keeps playing well, if he goes to a diamond, he's instantly going to shoot up from like 4.3 to probably 11, 12K, 10K. So he's going to jump up there pretty quick, and it's going to get expensive quick. So again, that's why I'm telling you to try to knock these out before any of the players shift around and move, and it gets more expensive. The next one is Detroit, and Detroit, I believe, is, no, they are not the smallest ones. Detroit is 7,557 stubs, and most of that comes from Javi Baez costing 4,100. The rest of them are a couple hundred a piece, and then as you go down, again, gets cheaper. I believe there is one guy down here somewhere. I don't remember who it is. There's one guy that was a struggle to get, and he was kind of expensive. I don't remember who it was. But anyways, the Tigers collection itself, which you're going to get Hal Neuheiser with the collection, it's going to cost you 7,557 stubs, give or take a few hundred stubs based on when you get this. But Detroit is another easy one to knock out for about 8,000 stubs. So the next one is actually one of the smallest stubs. So if you have about, what, 3,723. So I think this is actually the smallest it is. This is the smallest stubs it takes to complete a collection. It goes to the A's for Raleigh Fingers. Nobody's over 1,000, I believe. I bought everyone from under 1,000. So yeah, this one's pretty darn cheap. It's 3,000 total. Well, close to 4,000 total. And so if you have 4,000 stubs, you can go through here and do the whole collection reward for yourself and get some of the coins back. Obviously, you're going to get 800. You're going to bet what, 1,200, 1,300 back in by just locking this in. So you're basically only losing 2,000 stubs for doing the collection for the Athletics. The next one was a close one, and that was Cincinnati. So when I said this is under 10,000, depending on how the market looks and how these players are doing, this could be above 10,000. For me, it costs about 9,233. Votto was a K. Malley, Naquin, Stevenson was expensive earlier today. He was around a K. Looks like he dropped significantly. So this is actually looking a little cheaper. India cost quite a bit earlier as well, and it's still kind of expensive. I'm trying to think. Hunter Green was kind of expensive for him. So yeah, go through here. I think Lodolo. Yeah, Lodolo is expensive for like a 68. So my suggestions, go through here and try to knock this one out. It could be pretty cheap for you, but it also can kind of get close to that 10K range. I got it for 9,233 stubs, and then you're also going to get the Tony Perez for collecting all of these. The next one is Pittsburgh, and this actually cost a little more than I thought it would, and basically it was 2 or 3 people that cost it. So it cost me 5,869 stubs. Reynolds being one of them. I think I got it for 2K. He looks like he dropped a little bit down to 17. Bryant Hayes is a little lower than I remember buying him for at 592. Got some other guys, and the thing is these just add up after a while. So you might say, oh well, he's only 455. Yeah, but there's like 2 or 3 guys that are 455. And here we are, you know, getting up into the thousands pretty quickly. So Pittsburgh is going to cost you around 6,000 stubs or less, I would say, on a good day. And you're going to get Willie Stargell for completing the collection. The next one is Colorado. And Colorado is actually, I wouldn't say super cheap. It's not as cheap as the A's were, but they're decently cheap to get them. And normally like Chris Bryant card would be a hell expensive, but it's really not that expensive right now. 780 just for the top card, the only gold in there. Ended up costing me 4,914 stubs. Very, very cheap to knock these out. And my suggestion again, if you got 5,000 stubs, go ahead and just knock this out, and you will get an 84 overall Larry Walker, which I've already started using. He's actually really good. So my suggestion would be to knock that one out too. And then the last one is San Francisco, and San Francisco cost me about 9,023 stubs. So again, could be a club that eventually gets to the 10K mark. But I would suggest locking him in now at around 9,023 stubs. So Rondon, the biggest one here, about 2K. Logan Webb has actually gone up a little bit, 930 for him. Crawford, Bell. A lot of these I feel like are a little expensive because of the moments or whatever that were out that you had to do. You had, like, San Francisco was one of the ones where you had to get like so many innings and so many parallel XP with San Francisco. So that's actually where I got some of these, because obviously like you got a 75 going for 500. Down here they're still going for hundreds. Usually at this point you're getting around the 60s mark, and they're still 80s, you know. So these are a little more expensive than they probably will be in the next couple of days or in even a week. But then you also run the risk of these players getting better, being more expensive. So again, if you have the 9,000 stubs to do so. So that is all the collections that are below 10K currently as of 4/11 or 4/12. I did Kansas City because they're my favorite team, but Salvador Perez is over 10K no matter what. Miami actually did, and when I started it, it looked like it was going to be close to 10K, so I started it. Ended up being about 14,000 for Miami. They just had so many players that were like 500, 600, 700. They really added up quick. So Baltimore, Detroit, Oakland, Cincinnati, the Pirates, Rockies, and The San Francisco Giants are the easiest ones that are all under 10K. You can knock them out depending on if you have 5K and you're like, I want to do complete a collection. You can knock out the Oakland. There's 3,700. You can knock out Colorado. They're 4,900. If you have 10K and you're like, I want to knock out a more expensive one, you can look at going towards Baltimore's 98, Cincinnati 92, San Francisco 9,000. So just go through here and try to knock these out as quick as possible, because they are actually going to get more expensive, because what happens is players get better, so they're going to cost more, and you're going to start running into where the younger players like that are moving on and off the team, like you get like a 58 and you lock him in, and then later he gets actually taken out of the 40 man or whatever, and they bring another guy in that's a 52 or something, and that card there's not been a lot of packs with him in it. That card is going to be super expensive, and I mean, like, it could cost you about 1,000 or more for like a 52 once it comes out if you want to complete that collection. So my suggestion is try to lock these cheap collections in as fast as possible, so that you have the income later to be able to spend on more expensive cards that you might not get from packs. So if you have any questions, make sure to comment them down below. I'll do my best to try to answer them. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope this episode was helpful. If it was, let me know that down in the comment section as well. Give this video a thumbs up. Also, feel free to hit the red subscribe button, because we're going to have a ton of MLB 22 content continuing to come out. I've released a ton of videos so far. There's a lot more coming your way. Till next time, Slacker out.